Brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, mothers and fathers have been lost. Due to a senseless, violent act in Las Vegas last night. Here's the latest.
I'm here to give you an update on the situation as I know it at this point. I think it's very important for you to understand that this investigation is going to be long and contracted before we get to the bottom of everything associated with it. But it's one of the things I wanted to update you with is we have located the vehicles that I had put out in the first briefing, and we believe we're confident, but not 100% sure we have located the female person of interest. So I want the people to feel confident and calm in that aspect that we've accomplished a lot in a short period of time. Now, the number of injuries, I do not know yet, but we are looking in excess of 50 individuals dead and over 200 individuals injured at this point. I do not want to give you an accurate number and it be wrong. So subsequently, that is why I'm portraying it in that manner. Now, the suspect, I am going to provide you his identity at this point. His name is...
I'll read you the press release. I watched a little bit of a Periscope broadcast from the LVMPD this morning. There are now 58 dead with a 59th unconfirmed. The number for the injured is now 515. This is what the president had to say.
Thank you. My fellow Americans, we are joined together today in sadness, shock, and grief. The gunman opened fire on a large crowd at a country music concert in Las Vegas, Nevada. He brutally murdered more than 50 people and wounded hundreds more. It was an act of pure evil. The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security are working closely with local authorities to assist with the investigation, and they will provide updates as to the investigation and how it develops. I want to thank the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and all of the first responders for their courageous efforts and for helping to save the lives of so many. The speed with which they acted is miraculous and prevented further loss of life. To have found the shooter so quickly after the first shots were fired is something for which we will always be thankful and grateful. It shows what true professionalism is all about. Hundreds of our fellow citizens are now mourning the sudden loss of a loved one, a parent, a child, a brother or sister. We cannot fathom their pain. We cannot imagine their loss. To the families of the victims, we are praying for you, and we are here for you. And we ask God to help see you through this very dark period. Scripture teaches us the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. We seek comfort in those words, for we know that God lives in the hearts of those who grieve. To the wounded who are now recovering in hospitals, we are praying for your full and speedy recovery and pledge to you our support from this day forward. In memory of the fallen, I have directed that our great flag be flown at half-staff. I will be visiting Las Vegas on Wednesday to meet with law enforcement, first responders, and the families of the victims. In moments of tragedy and horror, America comes together as one, and it always has. We call upon the bonds that unite us, our faith, our family, and our shared values. We call upon the bonds of citizenship, the ties of community, and the comfort of our common humanity. Our unity cannot be shattered by evil. Our bonds cannot be broken by violence. And though we feel such great anger at the senseless murder of our fellow citizens, it is our love that defines us today and always will, forever. In times such as these, I know we are searching for some kind of meaning in the chaos, some kind of light in the darkness. The answers do not come easy. But we can take solace knowing that even the darkest space can be brightened by a single light, and even the most terrible despair can be illuminated by a single ray of hope. Melania and I are praying for every American who has been hurt, wounded, or lost the ones they love so dearly in this terrible, terrible attack. Our nation to find unity and peace, and we pray for the day when evil is banished and the innocent are safe from hatred and from fear. May God bless the souls of the lives that are lost. May God give us the grace of healing, and may God provide the grieving families with strength to carry on. Thank you. God bless America. Thank
you. On the screen are contact information for the people in the local area. If you're looking for loved ones, if you're trying to reunite for loved ones, if you want to know where to give blood. I went to the Las Vegas Twitter feed, and so in the description are links to more information where you can report to tell people that you are safe, how to report that you have a missing loved one, and where else to give blood, and so forth. All that is in the description. Let me see where I've got here. Did I accidentally close it out? Probably. With me. I did, because I'm an idiot. Hang on. It has been a whirlwind morning this morning. My heart goes out to everyone. Yep, I heard about run and guns. Zephaniah is safe too, but Zephaniah witnessed some of that as well. He has some people that are close to him that have been injured. And the like. Let me see if I can find the there it is. Now I can close this. This was the latest press release, and I will read it. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department identified the lone suspect involved in the late night mass shooting on the Las Vegas Strip as 64-year-old Stephen Craig Paddock, a white male from Mesquite, Nevada. Paddock opened fire on a crowd of more than 22,000 concert goers from his hotel room on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel on Sunday evening at approximately 10:08 p.m. The victims were across the street attending the Route 91 Harvest Festival concert when bullets rang out. LVMP SWAT responded to the call, breached the hotel, dead. The Clark County Fire Department estimated that approximately 406 people were transported to area hospitals and 50 are dead following Saturday evening shooting. That has been updated for those of you that have missed it to 58 dead and 515 wounded. Among the dead is an LVMPD officer who was off duty at the time. His name is being withheld pending notification of next of kin. There were also 2 on-duty officers injured, one of whom was upgraded recently from critical to stable condition. The other sustained non-life-threatening wounds. This is still an active investigation. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is asking for anyone with videos or photos concerning the shooting to call 1-800-CALL-FBI or 1-800-225-5324. That number again is 1-800-225-5324. LVMPD and Clark County Coroner's Office have set up a hotline for family and friends to report a missing loved one connected to this incident. The hotline is only to take reports on missing people. The number is 866-535-5654. That number again is 866-535-5654. LVMPD also opened up a family reunification center at its headquarters in 400 South Martin Luther King Boulevard in Building B. The identification process of all injured and the deceased will take time, so authorities are asking the public for patience. And these are the tweets. Asking anyone with videos or photos, that's the FBI number. Are you safe? This is from Fox 5 in Las Vegas. They're offering a link. If you are on Facebook and you are in the Las Vegas area, please click the link and mark yourself safe to let your loved ones that are on Facebook know that you are safe. If you would like to donate blood for the injured victims of the strip shooting, visit the Labor and Health Welfare Clinic at 7135 West Sahara. More addresses for blood donating locations are in the description, given to me via our own Sir Wolfie, who is in the live chat. For families looking to locate missed loved ones, please call, and the number once again is 866-535-5654. During this event, two groups have come forward without proof to claim that they had a hand in it. The first one was ISIS, claiming that he had converted to Islam a few months prior, but they have offered no proof that he was affiliated with them. The second group that is gloating about it is Antifa. Again, they have provided no proof that he was a member of their ranks. This is still breaking news. This is still a developing story. If anything else comes out, if any more information can be corroborated and confirmed, I will either be doing another live stream or I will be putting it in a blog post, so please look out for that. Once again, the description for donations is in the description section. All those links down there are viable. This is a truly tragic time. 8 rifles, I believe, were found in the room.
10 plus.
10 plus rifles were found in the room.
I have a little information. I have my suspicions about one of the main weapons used in it. Heard the tape. Let me preface this by saying I literally from the age of 6 on have grown up with some sort of firearm in my hand. There hasn't been many that I haven't had an opportunity to fire. From the amount of shots that rang out in successive order, this was most likely one of the primaries, was an AR-15 that had been converted to be a belt-fed apparatus. And yes, you can actually buy those kits, and you can buy the belted 5.56 ammunition to fire in them. It takes a lot of special permits to do that, and a whole lot of background checks. You just can't go out and purchase these things without being federally licensed to do so.
Well, they're also reporting that he obtained them illegally.
Yeah, well, he probably did. Most stuff like that and everything is reserved for ATF agents, FBI, Secret Service, active military personnel, retired military personnel, not individuals like this.
You have no words for something like
this.
I
don't. I can sit out here and I can berate idiocy in its truest form and everything. And there's a difference between a heinous act and somebody just saying something stupid. Word of caution for all these people that want to step up and say, oh, it was us. We did this. Especially Antifa. You're making many, many enemies already.
You don't need to add to
Steven
the
Crowder and everything caught on tape. Some of you people, you know, everything saying that, you know, he had weapons in a car and everything, firearms that he would hand out to the members if shit got real.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Think of it like this. And really, really, everybody think about this. If they do trace us back to Antifa, there are millions of registered gun owners. A lot of them live in states where Antifa isn't really active in some of these states. They don't want that kind of attention.
No, they don't.
Okay. They don't want to show up at a rally, you know, 100 of them just get cut down immediately.
Yeah. This is as of an hour ago through the AP. Islamic State claims Las Vegas mass shooting. Again, this has not really been confirmed because they don't have proof, but I'm going to read the article. Without providing any evidence to support the claim, the Islamic State group on Monday said the gunman in the mass shooting in Las Vegas was a soldier from its ranks who had converted to Islam months ago. Authorities have yet to identify a motive for the shooting and said initially there was no evidence of any connection to international terrorism. The extremist group has a history of exaggerated or false claims, including earlier this year when it claimed an attack on a casino in the Philippines that turned out to have been a botched robbery carried out by a heavily indebted gambling addict. The group's Amaq news agency released 2 brief statements hours after the shooting at a country music concert that killed at least 58 people and wounded more than 500. It was the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. ISIS did not name the suspected shooter, but said he had executed the operation in response to calls to target countries of the coalition, batting the extremist group in Iraq and Syria. The group later released Spanish-language versions of the statements. Police have identified the shooter as Stephen Craig Paddock, 64, of Mesquite, Nevada, and have said he killed himself after the shooting. Authorities have not commented on his religious background or said what might have motivated the attack. Most ISIS attacks have been carried out by much younger men. Sheriff Joseph Lombardo said the authorities believed it was a lone wolf attack and that the U.S. Homeland Security Department said there was no specific credible threat involving other public venues in the United States. The extremist organization has suffered a string of major setbacks in Iraq and Syria, where it has lost much of the territory it once claimed as part of a self-styled Islamic caliphate. However, the group remains active in recruiting followers on social media and has repeatedly called on its supporters to carry out attacks in Western nations. So that's what the AP has reported as of an hour ago. And for those of you wondering where I'm reading this from, this is an AP app that is available in the Windows Store and also on the Google Store and probably on iOS as well. I don't know. I don't have an iPhone. But that's what we know so far. And as this is a developing story, when I get more information, I will release it. This is a tragic event. And in my opinion, the president's statement was very heartfelt. He was very sincere. You can tell that he wanted to say much more, but was reserving himself greatly in order to be professional and presidential, but still being empathetic to the people.
Here's something from the UPI.
Mm-hmm.
UPI, the United Press International. Anybody that doesn't know what that is the main wire service that has supplied most of the news to the networks here in the United States during the course of the entirety of the 20th century. Let that sink in. A U.S. official told CBS News there were no early signs of any ties to radical Islamic groups or signs of radicalization. Islamic State of Iraq and Syria said in 2 statements released by its pseudo-news agency in Amaq, citing anonymous sources, that the government converted to Islam several months ago, and the attack in response to calls to target states of the coalition battling the Islamic State.
Yeah.
It's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
It is highly unlikely. They would have found something.
Well, they're not done with their investigation yet, so we're still trying to keep tabs on that one. Okay. On to the next one. And this is also, In Edmonton, and I don't have the video clip. I think I accidentally closed that tab out. There is also a link to the LVMPD Twitter, where the most recent press conference via Periscope was broadcast, if any of you are interested in watching that. Edmonton. Canadian police charged the Somali refugee following the attacks in Edmonton. He was charged with attempted murder and stabbing and car attacks. In the car attack, he did strike one officer. 2 years ago, by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, was the suspect, whose name is, I know I typed it because I had to double check. I'll get to it. Under investigation 2 years ago for promoting extremist ideology. Royal Canadian Mounted Police said he was not deemed a threat 2 years ago. The ISIS flag was found in his car. The local Muslim community condemns the attack. He was 30-year-old Abdullahi Hassan Sharif. The Alberta Muslim Public Affairs Council denounced the attack, organizing a Sunday evening rally to bring together members of the community, police, and government. These types of attacks, whether terrorism or not, seek to divide communities. The group spokesman said, "We have to show that's not going to happen, not in Edmonton." The attack happened after a football game. 4 people were killed. Let's see. We have Doubting Tommy. I just wish I knew what this guy's motives were. I know it doesn't make a difference, but still would like to know. Yeah, we would all like to know what his motives were. Just for closure. Just to know something, anything, as to why he did this. MC says foreign connections are not something the FBI specializes in. Connections may take time to establish. Yes, connections may take a long time to establish. Neil, could be anything from terrorism to a love triangle to being terminal insane. Fuck it. Yeah, there's a wide variety of why people snap and do things like this. I mean, it's senseless. It's senseless violence. I hate using this term in a situation like this, but this is literally spray and pray. Yeah, I think you missed it all, Finn. You're going to have to watch it from the beginning. I can only guess who Tariq is blaming it on. Jason. I can only guess.
I really don't care what that moron has to
and
say.
I really don't care. And here comes the editorial part of the live stream. I was on Twitter this morning yelling at idiots because once again, as things like this happen, they were calling for more gun control because they don't understand that when you are hell-bent on creating chaos, inciting terror, and committing mass murder, you're not going to stay within the laws in order to find the weapons that you need to kill people. You're not. Period. Laws are there in place for the lawful and to jail those who break the law. They are there to keep us safe as guidelines of what not to do. This is too soon to be politicizing something of this nature, but they're going to do it anyway because they can't help themselves when it comes to virtue signaling and saying ban all guns. And yes, I'm referring to Riley Dennis. In my opinion, Fenn says the guns he used were illegal already. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Proof that laws don't mean anything to criminals who want to commit acts like this. Gun grabbers are not the only ones politicizing. No, they're not. Hillary Clinton even said something already because they don't understand. When you outlaw guns, only the outlaws will have guns. This is the phrase that has been said time and time again, and it will continue to be said in the fight for our Second Amendment rights. You cannot take guns away from law-abiding citizens because you take away the ability to defend themselves. In this instance, from a 32nd floor hotel room, there was no way for anybody to know what was going to happen. He wasn't street side Because I have a funny feeling if he was street side, he would have been gunned down before it got to this point. Because Las Vegas does have gun laws, but they also have lawful gun carriers in the state of Nevada, and I'm sure he would have probably been filled with lead as soon as he started firing on the crowd. Doubting Tommy, at least in the aftermath, you can see a lot of people getting together and really helping each other, but there are still those who want to use it to push their agenda. There's always going to be people who use a tragedy like this to push their agenda. And as I was telling Ronan before we went live, if Hillary would have been in office, or if this would have happened under Obama's watch, they would have said maybe 3 sentences about saying a prayer to the victims, and then the rest of their speech would have been about gun control. Putting the dead on a platform and standing on them in order to further their agenda. Because that's what Obama did for Sandy Creek. And that was unacceptable then, and it's unacceptable now. Neil, it's eerie looking at the broken gold windows he fired from. It is. We saw a short clip, and we heard the bullets, and I'm not going to play that because it was jarring, to say the least, for me. And I'm not ever going to play those kind of clips on my live newscasts. Some people may say that it isn't good reporting, that people need to see things like that, but I'm sure there will be plenty of other people playing that clip, and I don't need to be adding to that choir. I don't need to be helping people relive that they lived. Straight Sith mail. My aunt and uncle were supposed to go to that concert, but they stayed home. He's fire department, so that's good. Well, that's a small miracle, and I'm glad they're safe. I'm glad they're safe. Like we said earlier, there are no words for a tragedy on this scale. There were no words when September 11th happened. There was plenty of action, which we've seen with the LVMPD and their SWAT team and the FBI coming in to help with the investigation. There is plenty of action, which is what's needed now. But there are no words that can console those that are suffering the loss. There are no words for those that are waiting in operating waiting rooms to hear about their family members as to whether or not they are going to come out of the operations. All we can do is hope, pray, send positive energies out, whatever you believe in doing, and show your support by going to the links in the description below if you are local to give blood, because they are going to need it. They're going to need all the help they can get in that area. I would have reported a little bit more on Edmonton, but to me, this was closer to home, and this was way more important for me to report. Like I said, we're going to be keeping an eye on the story as it develops.
Yeah, we'll be monitoring it all day.
We'll be monitoring it all day. If we find enough information to do another live stream, we will be doing another stream. If not, I will type it up as a news article and put it on my blog. I would say have a marvelous Monday, but that doesn't really cover nor lend gravitas to the situation.
This is a better way to put it and everything. From everybody here at the Morning Brew and to all of you, I want you to have a safe Monday. And, you know, if you can and you feel the need, call family and just check in with them.
Yeah.
Just if nothing else, just to say, hey, how you doing? How's everything going? And everything. Y'all take care of each other today.
Yeah. Take care.
And we will be back with you probably in a few hours and everything with an update.
Yeah. Until then, take care of each other, hug your loved ones, and call the ones that you can't hug.